Donkey Kong. Who ever came up with the name? What the hell does it have to do with donkeys? Donkey Kong is the big red guy in the top left of the screen. This is the classic 80s hit that spawned numerous versions of Donkey Kong, all kinds of different Donkey Kong games in the franchise. He had his own breakfast cereal and a cartoon show on CBS for the Saturday morning cartoons back when they actually showed cartoons on Saturdays. Now we get the depressing news every Saturday. So kids can grow up, instead of watching cartoons with Donkey Kong, they can learn about the continual threat of terrorism. Donkey Kong is widely regarded as the first appearance of Mario, who we see on screen running around with his little mustache and sideburns. This game was made by Nintendo, and I think the cartridge was published by Coleco, or they got the rights to publish the cartridge for Atari. I may not be giving the words right there. This came out in 1981 or 1982 in the arcades. This version was 1982 on the Atari. I don't remember the arcade version very well, but I do remember it was a lot better than the Atari 2600 version. And this happened a lot to the Atari 2600, where they would port over a tremendous arcade game, Spy Hunter being a great example, and then it would really fall short on the Atari 2600. I mean, the system had much more limited capabilities than the arcade system, of course. So on Donkey Kong, you're limited to the variation of these two different levels here. I'd have to revisit the arcade game because, to be honest with you, the Atari version is probably not that exciting for me. I'm a big fan of the original King Kong from the 1930s, and this game certainly was inspired to some degree by that movie and the damsel in distress and the giant ape at the top of the screen that Mario, who is, I think, unnamed in this game. I don't think he's called Mario. I think next maybe we'll get to Donkey Kong Jr., which is sitting on my shelf right next to Donkey Kong Sr. Does anyone else out there remember the early handheld version of Donkey Kong? Back when our handheld video games just had LCD screens. I think that's what they were. And it was like a split screen. It almost looked like a Nintendo DS. And that's what we played Donkey Kong on. I knew a kid on the school bus that had one of those. I didn't have one.